Hello and welcome to episode 39 of the Oikos Family Podcast. My name is Sonja Wood, and this month of October we've been talking about orderliness. And here we are on the last Saturday of October, and I would like to share with you the blessings that we have discovered from orderliness over the years. And I'm hoping, with this being the last Saturday of this month of October, that you too have begun to really value from orderliness becoming a practice in your life. And perhaps you already have had a lot of value from that, or perhaps you're just at the beginning of this journey. But I'm really hoping that this month's focus of orderliness through October has been a blessing for you, and that it'll continue to be a blessing to you. Because what I want to share with you today is how I am so blessed. And I have been so blessed by this one specific focus of this characteristic of orderliness. I have shared in previous podcasts about this particular topic of orderliness and how much we gained from the Konos manual when we were focusing on practicing orderliness and just living and practicing and doing all the different activities and exercises and projects that helped us to understand the value and the depth and the importance of orderliness. So I'd like to share with you a scripture on this topic, and that is from Psalm 37, verse 23. It says, "The steps of a man are established by the Lord when he delights in his way." And I know that the Lord delights in orderliness. So I believe that when we are practicing orderliness, then he directs our steps in his way and it delights him. And we too are delighted. That's why I wanted to share that one with you. I want to share another one with you as well. And that is from Proverbs 16, verse 3, where it says, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans." Okay, so planning is all part of getting organized, isn't it? We've got to plan and we've got to organize and all of that. And some people find that difficult and it doesn't just come naturally for them. I've chatted about that in previous podcasts as well. But today I wanted just to end off this month with sharing with you the blessings, because I would love you to know them, so that if you're in the midst of this transition and you're not quite there yet and you're not experiencing the fullness of it, I want to give you some hope and share with you some treasures. And the biggest and best treasure that I can give you is to say to you that the years that we spent practicing this character trait of orderliness has been incredibly valuable, because I have adult children now. And just picture that if you go into your adult child's home, or if your parents come into your own present home and they see a picture of order, do you not think that that is just incredible blessing? Do you know, my daughter's been married now for 6 years, well, nearly 6 years. And there hasn't been a single time that I've visited her where I've felt a little bit burdened or a little bit heavy-hearted at the thought of, oh my goodness, I really need to help her to get some order in her home, because it's just such a shambles. I haven't had that experience, not once, because this is the experience I have. It doesn't matter whether I arrive at home unexpectedly, which I try not to do because I like to respect her, in always making a phone call and order, you see, just giving her that heads up, so that in the event that I arrive at her home and she wasn't expecting me, I don't find chaos. I find order. I find order in herself, in the way she presents herself. I am blessed by order of this particular person, all right? And I don't know that I can just say that just comes naturally. She's just that sort of person. Yes, she was very specifically extremely easy to train in this regard, because she was the one that would draw Koki lines around her shoes to make sure that they were straight and in the right spot in the bottom of the cupboard. So yes, there was a natural orderliness within her that's made her feel better to have things in order, and that was her character already. So building on that wasn't difficult. I accept that and agree that it was an easier road when it comes to orderliness with her. But why I'm sharing it with you is to say the blessing of that now just goes on and on and on. And I don't believe that I would be feeling the same sense of peace and blessing and treasure that I do if I saw something different. Even if in myself I was a scattered person, let's say, or let's say I myself was just very disorganized. And I didn't even notice that in my daughter's home, for example. Even if that were the case, I still believe that if that picture that I just mentioned, the opposite, I wouldn't necessarily feel blessed. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think I would experience blessing if she was chaotic and I was chaotic. I don't know where we would be sitting feeling blessed about that, okay? But because it's the opposite of that, and I say that very confidently, I'm not trying to sound arrogant or speaking highly of blowing my daughter's trumpet or something. That's not the purpose of this. This is the purpose of saying to you that because of the gift of us having time to be able to focus on practicing orderliness, we are now blessed. And God is a God of order, so He is the one to be praised, because He is the one that convicted us to say He is a God of order and He wants everything in order, and He would like us to be orderly people, because then He can do much with us if we are orderly. If we are not orderly, He can't. It's not the same. We don't get as great a blessing, I don't think. That's my experience, all right? So that's why I'm telling you to share with you the gift of the blessing. And then it goes on from that, because it doesn't just stop there. It carries through on so many levels. For example, if I know of somebody who's terribly orderly, I know that if I give that person a task to do, I have the peace and the comfort of knowing that that task is going to be done well and in good order. So I don't have a stress about it. So I'm blessed. And this is one of the fruits of orderliness. There's so many, but just to start with is the peace that I've shared with you. And then I can go on to the comfort, the assurance, that sense of tremendous security, or I'm not sure if security is the right word, but it's a sense of you give somebody that you know is an organized person, you give them a task to do, and there's that sense of security, I suppose is the right word, of experiencing that assurance that this job is going to be done well because you've given it to this person who you know is a very organized person. Isn't that wonderful? I think that's a blessing. And so I believe that we can really glorify God, and God can be glorified through us being orderly people. And although we really spent a lot of time practicing it, this didn't just happen overnight. We spent a lot of time practicing the value and the importance and the reason why, and we would go into the most disorganized part of our home and go, okay, this is just now crazy, this room. We're going to have to get order in this room. Let's make this a project. And then we would practice. While we were busy with that project, we would be practicing orderliness. And then our lounge would be turned into what looked like a warehouse, a shambles, because we'd get a shipment of books in and there were just boxes everywhere. And now we had to open all the boxes. And so there's all the packaging from inside the box. I mean, the whole place just looks a mess. But there's order, because now all those boxes over there still need to be unpacked, and those ones have been unpacked, and we put all the empty ones in that corner, and we stack those books over there on that side, and we stamp them over there. You see, there's just like all these different little pockets of order, but entering the room, it just looks chaotic, but there's order within that. And because there's order within that, the job gets done in a manner that everybody actually enjoys. It's not just craziness. It's not just taking much longer than it needs to and everybody getting exhausted. So there's another one. By being orderly, you're not exhausting yourself as much as you would if you weren't organized. So I think I'm feeling as I'm stating the obvious again. I said that in a previous podcast. I hope it doesn't. It's not too much of stating the obvious, but I just am speaking about this and sharing this and going on about it because of the fact that this one specific character trait, this one called orderliness, has been such a rich blessing to our lives. I believe we bless each other. I believe God smiles upon it. He's delighted with it. He blesses us in it. When we are being orderly, we experience the blessing of it. So because of all of that, I just felt I really wanted to share with you how our Octobers have always been over all the years of our learning lifestyle. October was always the month that was the highlight for us to go, right, what areas have got a little bit out of order over the past year? This month is the month where we focus on bringing order back if it's got out of order. And that is what we did for our months of October. And I am thoroughly blessed from the fruit of that today. And so I just sincerely hope and I really desire for you to have the blessing of that. So thank you, moms. Thank you, parents, whoever's been listening to this. Really appreciate you spending time listening. I really hope that this has been a support and a help to you. And I'm hoping as well that you are going to be sharing with others your blessings of experiencing orderliness in yourself and your children and your home and your workplace. And so we go on. So thank you for listening. And I'm looking forward to sharing more with you through these podcasts through November. Thank you for being with me. Bye for now.